This is Tarini, Kashish, and Riva, who are three psychology majors at Flame University. And so, could each of you introduce yourselves to the audience?
Okay, hi, I'm Tarini. I'm a psychology major and a digital marketing minor. So I chose Flame primarily because it's a liberal arts college and I needed some time to figure out my major and minor. I was inclining towards psychology, but I wanted to figure out once and for all what would be the best suit. And Flame has really helped me, narrow down on a few subjects that I've enjoyed. And I never even knew what digital marketing was until I joined Flame. So that is why I chose Flame. Yeah.
Okay. Hi, I'm Kashish and I live in Hyderabad. I'm 18 years old and I also study psychology at Flame University. I have opted as my major because I knew this was something I wanted to do for a really long time because of some things that I've seen in my family, things I've seen around me, things I've seen on social media. And I know the growing concerns about mental health are pretty important and they need to be addressed, which is why I chose psychology. And why Flame? Because I think my answer is very similar to Tarani's. The liberal arts aspect of it allows you to choose different subjects and then particularly decide whether you're sure you want to specialize in a field. In addition to that, I had heard a lot about the psychology department at Flame from seniors, from alumni, which is why I decided to go for Flame.
Hi, I'm Riva. I'm 18 years old and I study psychology at Flame. And my minor is also digital marketing. So originally, I chose I was originally confused between economics and psychology, and I didn't know which one I liked more. And studying at Flame, like exploring, so Flame initially asks you to check out various courses in your first year, so then you can figure out what works best for you. So I tried out a couple of economics courses as well as psychology courses, and finally I figured out that psychology was something I really enjoyed doing. So, which is why I took up psychology and chose Flame. Yeah.
So, the three of you all are psychology majors, and so can you all tell the audience about what the course is really and why you all, in your each of your own opinions, why did you all select Flame?
So, in terms of, like we said, we haven't started our psychology course yet. We'll be doing that in our second year. But in our first year, we were given four subjects, and all of them are very different, kind of like for us to explore different dimensions of psychology. So, a course that I took was methods in psychology, which is like research and experimentation, and that's something I'm very inclined towards. So that course was perfect for me in understanding what I want to do in the future. So I think that's a very smart thing that Flame does. It kind of introduces like different aspects of psychology, see, what works out best for you in a way that you can even narrow down like what in psychology you want to do. So when I took the methods class, I understood that okay, this is something I want to do in the future. And I'm sure Riva and Kashish have the same to say. Continue.
I agree. I think so. In the first year of Flame, they offered about four psychology courses. One was Introduction to Psychology, which I had not taken because I did psych in my 11th and 12th, and that would be a little repetitive. Then the second course was Methods, as Tharani mentioned. It's about the research methods and how do you design experiments, psychological, scientific experiments. And the third one was Fields of Psychology, which Riva and I took, and it was more about the branches of psychology. So we learned about clinical psychology, criminal psychology, forensic, environmental, a bunch of different fields. So that also helped me narrow down which career path, like something streamlined that I wanted to focus on. So that was really nice. And I think the last course that all three of us did was Psychology of Self and Identity, which focused more on the personality aspect of psychology, the more interesting, traditionally interesting concepts in psychology. And I think Flame really offered a good variety of courses so that people could really narrow down what they wanted to do. And they could explore all parts of psychology up before finally deciding that this is what I want to pursue as my career. So that is one thing that intrigued me a lot about Flame.
Also, another thing that Flame does is they focus on a lot of interdisciplinary, like they focus on that sort of learning. So in each course, you learn about different sorts of like maybe different perspectives. So you learn about, say, let's say you take a course called Principles of Management. It'll talk about all the economic aspects of it as well. It'll talk about the psychological aspects of it as well. So it really tries, like Flame really tries to bring like a connection between all its majors and minors. So it's easier for you to decide what you enjoy the most.
So the three of you all are working on Psychsphere, and so can you all introduce Psychsphere to the audience and explain what it's about?
Okay, so I started Psychsphere like back in Jan, like just as a thing. I wanted to just start an Instagram page for mental health advocacy and focus on issues that haven't been spoken about before and introduce new concepts. And I did continue it for some time, but then I went into a slump where I couldn't keep up with the content. And then I got Kashish and Riva on board, and they're like working alongside me, helping me deliver like really quality content. So the main focus is, I think, of every mental health page is to destigmatize mental health disorders and increase awareness. But our motto is to bring about constructive change and to actually help people, enjoy psychology as a subject. You know, at least that's what I envision it to be. And it's an Instagram page as of now, but I think it's gonna grow into something much bigger.
I agree. I think Saxby was a wonderful idea. And after Tarini went into a little bit of a slum, she had this crazy new ideas that came up to her. So she called me once at like midnight and she's like, Kashish, I have an amazing idea. Please get on a Zoom call with me. So I did. And we talked about how we wanted to actually take this into mass media and how we wanted to take this initiative further. So then we collated a team, and Riva is an excellent designer. She's a very creative individual. Tarini and I have good content ideas. I'm also majoring in marketing, not just digital marketing. That's like a small portion under it. Riva and Tarini are specializing in digital marketing. I'm doing marketing in general. So I will be handling the marketing aspect, PR and marketing of Sexphere. Yeah, but we have a lot of ideas. We're planning to branch into many fields. We're planning to take it much further. And the one thing we want to put out there is that we are not professionals at all the content that we're putting out is purely educational, and we ourselves are psychology students and not mental health professionals. So we don't give advice in our page. We only bring out niche topics that are not discussed on other Instagram pages that are related to mental health, because I think Instagram is saturated with a lot of mental health content. However, we are trying to pick out the niche, the stuff that nobody talks about, the stuff that is extremely unique. And if you go through our page, you'll find that. So yeah.
Another thing I'd like to add on is that sets us apart is that Tarini has this sort of perspective where she can connect like our real life experiences and then put them into anecdotes. And so if you go to the page, you'll see this one post that talks about anxiety and Jenga. So she connected anxiety and Jenga with like its building blocks and how anxiety builds up. So that's another thing that we aim to sort of, continue with Psychsphere. Yeah.
That each of you all are helping each other out on Psychsphere, and so can you all give advice to students who are interested in digital marketing?
So, digital marketing, I took up digital marketing as my minor after I took a class at Flame. Like I loved the professor so much that I just instantly declared it my minor because of how interesting the class is. And the thing is, digital marketing is such a huge portion of our lives. Like the content creators you see on Instagram, TikTokers, that those are all content creators, and that comes under digital marketing. It's such a huge portion of that, and it's a great subject, and the way it's taught at Flame is also brilliant. So I'd encourage anyone who wants to take up digital marketing to just go for it. It's really nice.
I agree. So I also took digital marketing after one particular course that I had at Flame with this one particular professor. And he just made it extremely interesting. And I realized that now that our world is shifting online, it's not very likely that we'll go back to how we were initially, right? So we will continue a large portion of our lives online, which is why marketing and digital marketing especially is gaining extreme importance. And if you see on social media, everyone's trying to have their own page, right? So how do you select a niche? How do you become the how do you gain your follower? How do you gain a following? How do you market some product that you have or some initiative that you have out there to everyone? So I think digital marketing, even if you don't take it up as a career, it is a skill that one requires in today's digital age. So even if you don't take it up as a career, take a course, do a little reading about it, learn about it from someone, but it is an important life skill, I'd say.
These two are pretty much covering whatever I wanted to say. But another thing that why I took up digital marketing was because I love, so there's this thing where I love designing posters and making graphical content. So I had this course at Flame called advertising, and I think that's what made me realize that digital marketing is something that I want to take up, because you get to explore your creativity, and at the same time it's on a much easier scale, and you can manage it from home rather than on a big, let's say, mass communication like print and all, which you take time to figure out. Whereas Instagram and all these digital platforms are, like, I won't say easy to figure out, but it is something you can start from by yourself and move your way up. So which is why I feel like it's a really good minor to take up.
Great. So I'm sure students who are interested in psychology and marketing can surely take us something away from this. And so thank you so much, and best of luck on Psychsphere.
Thank
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 you
you
you.
for
so
having
much.
us.
We just wanted to appreciate you for putting out the content and helping
Yeah.
others, like basically
Yeah, very
talking to people from
thoughtful.
different fields
Thank you.
and helping them with their career path. So it's really great what you're doing. Thank you for having us.
Thank you. My
Thank you.
pleasure.